Um, all right, guys and gals, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever else you want to be called that's watching. Um, just want to go over a few things here. It's kind of too cold out today to actually be doing body work because um, the primer needs to be above 50 degrees in order to dry properly and adhere as it should. And um, the body filler that I got, which I got with my AutoZone rewards, go me. Anyways, it's like $12.99 a can. I've not really used this version of their product before, but this is the Bondo Professional Fast Dry Filler, fastest drying Bondo brand filler. Anyways, uh, it does state that it needs to be over 45 degrees in order to use it and for it to work properly. So I'm just going to go over a few things. I will have a full-blown review on this later, just so you guys will know. And I've already done one for the primer. I just want to go over a few things that I use in my body work. Just a few of the tools. Obviously, every body man should have a rubber mallet to beat the big dents out with. Once you get that done, you can usually go behind a lot of panels and actually use your shaping hammer and your dolly. It's always nice to have a dolly for shaping, and it's always good to have you a little tapping hammer around. As far as other stuff goes, body filler is good, primer is good. I usually use just the generic 97-cent masking tape. I don't get too fancy or special when it comes to the tape. It works just fine. You can spend more money if you want to and get like the easy lift and stuff like that. Now, if I'm doing like pinstriping or things like that, I will get the vinyl tape so that it is just easier to do pinstriping with pinstriping tape. And then, of course, if I'm doing flame jobs or something like that, it's easier to shape the flames. And I'm also going to do a video on that as well, on taping off flames and tribals and stuff like that. I'll be doing it later on when it warms up and stuff, and I get to actually finishing up the body work and stuff. So that's something to look forward to in the future. So, anyways, Bondo spreaders, you should have at least 50,000 of these because it's always nice to have as many as you can possibly get of these. That's a joke, by the way. It's just I have a lot of them, and it's because I just like to have a lot of them around, different sizes, obviously, big ones, little ones, medium ones. Anyways, they don't have to be the Bondo brand. They can be whatever spreader you can find. It's always nice to have a power drill, an actual power drill, a variable speed power drill, as a matter of fact, for all different kinds of things. One for your wire wheel, because depending on where you're at and where you're trying to get to, depends on the speed you want to go. But it's always nice to have a wire wheel and a drill. It's always nice to have you a set of 10 snips, just the multi-direction ones like these. These are actual multi-direction. You can actually see right on there. It has the little arrows going multiple directions. It's good to have that. It's good to have some sheet metal lying around and a welder of some kind, which I don't have one right now, but I am going to get another little welder. Just a little cheapy from Harbor Freight, more than likely, is all it'll probably be. No point in spending a fortune on some Lincoln or a Miller welder just to do body repair, because you're going to grind and sand that stuff down and make it nice and smooth anyways. So as long as you get it filled in nicely and attached the way that it's supposed to, welded, then you're good, because the body filler, just to skim over it and make it nice and smooth, is a good idea. You can skim. You don't want to try to fill in a big gigantic dent with body filler. That's no mas. So anyways, also I usually use Gator Grit. It's just the stuff from Walmart. I usually grab a 5-pack at a time. Sometimes I'll get like the bigger pack if I can go like all weekend and sand all weekend, but also I usually have my little wire brush to clean them out, clean out the little the things that get packed up in it and stuff. So it's always good to have that if you need it. And just the little 3M dust masks. I didn't used to use them. I used to just go at it. And then, of course, I started getting a little older, and I actually started doing things a little more professionally and stuff like that. And so I started wearing a mask more often and stuff to keep like the primer dust and keep the sanding dust out of my face, you know, and out of my lungs. Anyways, there's just all kinds of things that you really need to do body work. It's not just, oh, I'm going to get some primer and some sandpaper and go at it. You really actually kind of need to have a lot of products, and you need to know what you're using, and need to know how to use it. Practice does make better. Practice doesn't always make perfect, but practice does make better. So anyways, and read the directions. Reading directions is always a good thing. You know, I've learned this stuff over time, over several years, decades, in fact. When it comes to body work and working on cars, I would say that was one of the things that I really hit the hardest learning, because the mechanics of a car, if I don't know it, I can find out. Not just necessarily from YouTube, but I do have friends that have been working on cars as long, if not longer than I have, and they know a thing or two about a thing or two. And so, you know, maybe I'm not real good at retuning a PCM, but I know a guy that knows a guy, and everybody knows a guy that knows a guy. And so, and there are tuner shops that will help you tune your PCM. But anyways, we're not talking about that today. We're just basically talking about body shop stuff and body work stuff. And honestly, if it was just a little bit warmer, I'd be out there sanding on the car, doing another episode for my ZX2 bodywork project. I believe I will pull the molding off. There's like a piece of trim molding going down the middle of the car. I'll probably pull that off here in a little bit. And that's pretty much all I'll do today to that. And that way the doors on the side of the car will pretty much be ready for me to sand down. I will have to remove the door handles, and I'll have to remove the mirror, and probably the seal trim piece will have to come off. As a matter of fact, I need to take them both off anyways, off of each side, and I need to clean off it's the rubber or the protective coating, and I need to take that off, and then I need to tape that up so that I can spray that back to black, which I have a thought about that. I think I'm going to actually try to use rubberized undercoating and coat it with that, and then it will be about the same color as what it should be anyways. So anyhow, this is just another live feed for me. I did promise I was going to start doing a live feed every weekend too, and I am trying to. I think it's going to help me overall in here and in here. So, and this is what I'm doing to kind of self-help my condition, as it were. So anyways, as far as all this stuff goes, there are another probably at least 500 other tools that you could possibly need at any given time. Dent pullers, things like that. Hold on. I did make my own version of a dent puller. I actually did use it on the S10 I had. It did work pretty well. It doesn't have a lot of weight. This thing I found in the middle of the road. I believe it came off of a trailer of some sort, some type of a rollback trailer of some kind. It was some kind of a roller pad bearing thing. But anyways, I found it in the middle of the road. I was like, what is that? And I stopped and I picked it up, and I had it for a few years before I decided to make my homemade slide hammer, is what it would basically be. But it does work. It takes a little more doing than an actual slide hammer because it doesn't weigh like 5 or 6 pounds. It's maybe 2 pounds. But anyways, it is good to kind of have one around just in case you need to pull a dent. I think I'm going to modify this again and maybe get me kind of a suction cup or something on the end of it, so that because they got this like glue stuff and a suction cup sort of thing, and in that way I don't have to drill a hole and then have to weld it in later anyways. But anyways, that's something else that is good to have. If you can afford it, there's actually a slide hammer kit on Amazon that I've had my eye on for a little while that I believe I'm going to go ahead and get here pretty soon. Probably within the next month or so, because there's not really anything that I need the slide hammer for on that car. It's mostly little bitty dents and stuff. But anyways, there you kind of have some of the basic tools that that are the most common stuff to have, and some of the most common products. I know I'm probably going to get hit for having Bondo brand, but it's okay with me. I've been using it for decades and I've never had a problem with it. So, if you do it right and you're under the right conditions, you won't have a problem with it. If you make sure your surface is clean and dry and it's prepped properly, there's no reason you should have an issue with Bondo brand stuff. And I'm really loving Walmart right now because of the fact of the Rust-Oleum large project cans are actually at $5 a can. And if you've seen my other videos on the Ep.2 project, I did an entire hood with a can, and I did 2 fenders with a can, and that's actually not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, I know technically the hood isn't very big because it's a small car, but 1 can for the entire hood, pretty good in my book. I was actually going to do the bumper today, but like I said, it's like barely 40 degrees here, and I'm not gonna get out there in the cold and mess with doing this right now. But anyways, I think we can call it good for this episode, episode 2. Like I say, I'm going to be on here at least every weekend, at least on Sunday, and do a live feed of something, even if it's just chatting or whatever, or if you've got some kind of questions or something, I might be able to answer it. Hopefully I can. But anyways, thanks for watching. I did see there was somebody watching. So anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notifications. Have a spectacular day or night, whichever one it is for you. Peace out.